Hello everyone. In this video we would be learning about from event. So this from event operator is being used to create observables out of a target element or of HTML based on an event that is being emitted by the target. Sounds complicated? Let's see an example. So in this example we are trying to create a target element which is nothing but a button element. We are adding that to the document, and then what we see is we can create an observable just like by writing this line of code. So once we have the observable, we can subscribe to it and then we get the log. So let's try to click on this button and hold up, we see a log. So number of times you click on it, you would see this. Does this remind you of add event lister? Yeah, this from event works exactly like add event listener, but it has its own advantages. So we'll see further example in which you will understand where can we use from event and when is from event advantages. Let's see some more examples. In this example, we are trying to create a emitter from JavaScript, which comes from events library. And then what we see is we can create or we can use this emitter inside the from emitter because this is a target and the possible values of target includes a Node.js event emitter. So we are adding this emitter inside the from event and we are saying that okay, we are listening to this kind of event which is of type custom event. So now what we're trying to do is for this observable we have added a subscribe so that whenever there is a change in this we would be able to listen to it, and now we would be emitting using this emitter of type custom event using the code emitter.emit of type custom event, and this is the message. So that message is what you see over here. And since it is RxJS, you can pipe other variables too or other operators too. So over here what it does is it adds a map operator which transforms the data and makes it uppercase. So that's why you see hello RxJS in uppercase, whereas from here it's a title case. So that's one more example. Let's jump on to another example. In this example, we'll try to create a scenario wherein we will have a search bar. Inside the search bar, when we type something, it should load the data based on the input of the user. So first of all, we are trying to create an input box using JavaScript, and then we'll create a div which will be used to show the search result. And then we are using the search input with the help of from event. We are adding a listener of input. So what that means is whenever we type something, this from event would raise an event which we can subscribe. And since it is a search bar, we want a debounce time. So that's another operator which we would see some other time. But this debounce time, what it does, it takes milliseconds as an input. So the 300 milliseconds, it would wait for the next input. So I'm not going much deeper into this, but understand this as a operator which can be used to create a delay. And then what we are trying to do is we are just making sure that whatever the value that is being emitted from this event is actually the value, not the uh, not the HTML element. So then what we see is we are subscribing to that, and we have a helper method to query the strings from the uh, example data. So let's try to search something here. So we have few variables or few data, which is this. So if I, let's say, type 2, so what it would do is it would search from this and it would run a filter method. So let me walk through this. What happens is whenever we type something, it is being raised over here, and since this is only the value, we will get the letter 2. If I remove this map, what would happen is it would just give me an HTML element. And then at the end, what we are doing is we are showing the result over here. If this would have been a JavaScript, we would have to do this debounce time or this map as a separate methods, which would be a hectic thing. So it's always preferred to use RxJS operators because it makes our life easier. That's what we have seen in the introduction, right? And it makes a load, it makes the code more consistent. So that's all for this video. We'll see you in the next one. Till then, happy coding.